What's up, everyone? It's Gary with Fresh from the Farm Fungi. I'm here in our lab in Sedalia, Colorado, and today I wanted to go through our flow hood maintenance. So you can see I've got Air Science flow hood. This is a vertical flow hood. And then I've also got my horizontal FFU unit that I got from Myers Mushroom. We're about to start our production for the season, and I wanted to make sure these are in tip-top condition. There's been a lot of used flow hoods on the market lately, and this is a really good practice when you purchase a used flow hood to really clean it up and make sure that it's running tip-top quality. The maintenance on these units is going to be for the filter. I don't ever touch the fans really. There's been a few instances where I had to order some parts from Air Science, and that was really easy, but I didn't really bother with the filters. Both of these setups have pre-filter units, and I'll start by swapping those out for fresh pre-filters. For this FFU, I can actually clean that pre-filter. So I'll go ahead and pull that out, rinse it off with some soap and water, and just let it dry. This is the pre-filter here. It just comes out, and then I'll hose this off. You can see how filthy that is, which is pretty normal after about 6 months of operation, so that it can air dry before I turn on the unit. So I guess the most important thing for cleaning these units is just to power them off, make sure the power is disconnected, which we've already done that. For the Air Science flow hood, this one has two different HEPA filters on either side, and then it has two different intakes above the unit here. So I'll flip the camera around, kind of go through how I replace these pre-filters. All right, guys, so you can see how kind of dirty this filter is here. Basically, I just unscrew all these, and then I'll pull this filter out and then replace it with a clean one and screw them back in. And that's very simple. The inside of these hoods here are fairly clean because of the pre-filter and because of the vertical alignment. It doesn't really get any debris on the ceiling up there. So I'll probably just leave that for now until we actually have to replace these filters. I found these carbon pre-filters. They're just generic filters on Amazon. So I'll post some links to everything that I use in this video. And this actually fits into our standalone HEPA filter that I put in my office. So I'll just use these generic black carbon filters, and then I just cut them down to size, and they work really well. So I usually change my pre-filters every 6 months or so, and then that will extend the life of the HEPA filter. All right, guys, so I've got these two pre-filters up here. I'm just gonna use a Phillips head and take these brackets off. Okay, so I'll take this first filter off, and you can just tell by the grid. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, look how nasty that is. So I'm gonna go ahead, take the other one off, and then I'll cut the new ones to size. Once again, that's a pretty nasty filter. Okay. All right, guys, so these are the new filters. You can see how dirty these old ones are, but I'm just gonna use this little paper cutter here and cut these down to size. All right. This filter, which it gets the majority of the bulk workload. So I do my bulk substrate inoculations and my grain spawn inoculations, and then I preserve this flow hood mostly for culture work and pouring petri dishes and whatnot. So this one definitely has um, a little bit more cleaning to do. So you can see on the side here, I'll bring in this camera a little closer and show you what's going on. All right, so I've got my pre-filters all cleaned and swapped out. While that's drying, the next thing that I want to do is do the maintenance on the actual HEPA filter, the front face. So sometimes when I'm doing my inoculations, it can get sloppy, and often there'll be little particulates that get into the bottom liner of this flow hood here. So you have a couple options. This duster works really well, or I recommend doing an air compressor just so that you keep everything as dry as possible. So if I ever have an accident and it's working with liquid cultures or a wet grain spawn, I run these filters 24/7. So the idea is that those, if there's any organisms that is in that media, it will desiccate that bacteria or fungal uh, organism just because of the airflow. So leaving these on all the time is my biggest line of defense. And then next, I like to use either a duster or an air compressor like this, and then that way I can get into the cracks and clean out any loose debris. Another tip is to use a vacuum. Before I even think about blowing, there could be loose debris that would easily come out through these the little screen area. So I'll go ahead and vacuum, and then I'll use my air compressor. I'll put a link. It's a little battery powered Ryobi, but I usually run it around 30 psi, so that if there's any debris, I can just blow it out inside of these cracks. And you can see already um, some of that dust that's coming out. Okay, so I'll go ahead, flip this around, and kind of vacuum out my flow hood, and then I'll show you guys both methods. One thing with the duster is you want to be careful that you don't get any of that the liquefied air onto the flow hood, because anything moist has a potential to cause some damage to that filter. All right, let's flip this around. All right, guys, so I will start off just by vacuuming some of the larger debris. Like if we move this here, you can see there's like a couple little particulates from when I was doing my bulk inoculations, and that will come out really easily with a vacuum. All right, guys, so that got some of the larger debris out, and then I'm gonna use this little blower here to try to get some of this, the larger debris. And just for the heck of it, I'll show you guys how I like to use these. But see how some of that liquid is getting on there? You're going to want to be careful, but this is a good example here. Yeah, so some of this area in here can get some debris, and basically you just want to blow any of that loose stuff out. All right. So now I'm just going to do one final vacuum, but you can see all of this old substrate that came mostly out of this bottom area here. Um, but yeah. All right, guys. So that pretty much wraps it up for our flow hood maintenance. These HEPA filters should last 4 or 5 years of continuous use. So this one's only a couple years old, and it's very simple to replace the HEPA filters themselves. You just have to uh, kind of be careful of the the gasket around the filters when you're doing that. But for these ones, it has this little key that they pop out. And then this one, you just unscrew these screws on the bracket and replace the whole entire HEPA filter. So another thing to consider if you're buying a flow hood, either used or new, is if you need a vertical or a horizontal flow hood. So go check out our video that we did a long time ago on the pros and cons of both of these. I like to have both on hand just because I do a lot of culture work here in our farm. If you want to verify that you did a good job, I recommend taking a blank petri dish like this and just leaving it in front of your flow hood without the lid for about 5 or 10 minutes, or if you're doing normal procedures, it's a good way to monitor the effectiveness of your flow hood. You shouldn't get any growth on a petri dish as long as it's in front of the workspace while the fan's on, of course. I had to shut this off just because we've got our pre-filter drying, but I'll pop that in there tomorrow and then run it for about 4 or 5 hours before I do any work, just in case there's any residual debris or something. Usually that will get blown out, and any organisms that are on the surface would get dried out before I do my culture work. All right, guys, give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed that video. Subscribe if you're looking forward to more mycology videos like these. If you're interested, we do have our first class dates posted on our website, so go check out our 2-day workshop here in Sedalia. We're going to have a lot of fun going through all of the processes, and you'll get to check out our lab and our new farm here in Sedalia. All right, guys, until next time, much love.